Yeah, Mark, Trae Young was on top of his game early. What have you seen in him? As he's developed as an NBA player, how tough is he to guard?
I mean, obviously pretty tough, with the numbers he gets. The shooting off the dribble with the range that he shoots it with creates a lot of space for him. And then he's just really savvy. He's a smart player. He makes the right plays. He obviously is a really good passer. So he's like all these other really elite offensive players. They require 48 minutes of high focus, high energy, high execution. And we were off him tonight. He did a really good job, and we probably weren't as tight as we were the last time we played him.
Nick Gallo, Thunder Broadcasting.
Mark, your bench units and starting units have changed a lot throughout the course of the season. Tonight, guys playing with Svi for the first time. What have you thought of the ways that your guys have tried to kind of get that chemistry going on the fly with one another and play within the flow of what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I think that's been a strength of ours this season, for the most part. Obviously, there's ups and downs for every team. But I don't think that can be an excuse for us because we've integrated players very well. And we've kind of rolled with the punches on the changing lineups throughout the course of the year. I give Svi credit. He just got here a couple of days ago, and I thought he went out there and really tried to compete and tried to play the right way. I didn't think he tried to force very much. And that's a mark of maturity, for someone that's new and out there on the court with a team for the first time. So, we're glad he's here. He's done a nice job so far. He's done everything we've asked him to do, and we're looking forward to continuing to work with him.
One follow-up, Moses had a matchup against Jonas Valanciunas a few games ago. He's got a guy in Clint Capella tonight who I imagine, among elite bigs is almost an opposite type player. What'd you think of the different types of guys he's had to go up against early on in his career?
Yeah, it's a good sample because that's kind of what that position is now. Valanciunas is obviously a bruiser, and then Thaddeus Young probably isn't a center, and they're playing him there. Now tonight, Capella is more of a fluid roller, and so gives us a good gauge on where he's at. It gives us a good baseline. I thought Moses did a good job tonight carrying over some of the things from the other night defensively that he struggled with. Obviously, the numbers weren't the same, but I thought there was some progress there on that end of the floor. He struggled defensively in that Chicago game despite the numbers he got. And we put some work in with him yesterday, and I thought there was some nice carryover. He did a decent job tonight in the stuff that we were focused on with him.
Joe Masato, the Oklahoman.
Yeah, Mark, you were talking about rotations. Teo came off the bench tonight, I think for the first time since George has been out. I know Poku is starting. Is that sort of an evolving thing in your mind as far as what that starting lineup looks like and got whether Teo fits better as a starter with that second unit?
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily the reason tonight. He got banged up, his left wrist got banged up in the Chicago game. And he was a little bit tender, and we didn't want it to be like a 30-minute night or something for him. I don't know what he ended up playing, but we were just trying to lower his minutes by a tick. But we're going to keep looking at different things. Like I've said, we're going to keep mixing lineups. When you play Roby at the 4 with Al, it allows you to take a look at Roby as a 4, allows you to take a look at Poku in more of a wing spot, offensively and especially defensively. So it's always an opportunity to do it. But the Teo thing tonight, I thought was more injury-based than it was anything else.
Back to Barry Trammell.
And Mark, Shea had a frustrating first half, couldn't make much of anything, then came out in the second half and didn't seem like he could miss. Was that just a case of the ball falling, or was something going on better to get him cleaner shots?
I think the shots were pretty similar. I think he's done a good job this year of working himself through different things. Like he's a really good player. He's got high expectations for himself. He's a borderline perfectionist. And he's done a great job this year of just kind of rolling with the punches and weathering the storms. The Memphis game was a good example. I thought they were really disruptive with the way they played him, and he just kind of hung in there for that one and obviously really had an outstanding second half. And I thought tonight, it wasn't necessarily what they were doing. It just wasn't his first half, but he worked himself through it. And I think he's shown tremendous mental toughness in that way. He understands the length of the game. He's never out of it. He never takes himself out of it mentally. I thought tonight was another example of that. I thought he played really well in the third quarter. He hung in there tonight.
Brandon Rabar, Daily Thunder.
Hey, Coach. Ty Jerome with a career high 18 points and 6 out of 8 from 3. Could you give us your thoughts on Ty's night tonight?
Yeah, I thought, shots fell for him, obviously. I forget what game it was. It might have been Memphis that he was 2 for 8 recently. And I think, for him, with the way he shoots it, if he rips off shots like that, forget make or miss, just when he shoots it, when he's open like that, it's going to force people to close to him. And then he's a really, really good drive and kick player. He's a really good passer. He sees the floor. He's unselfish. The pass he made to Moses Brown tonight, was a good example of that, where he kind of finds him under the basket. And the more he's in the lane, the more types of plays he can make like that. But in order to get those advantages, I think he's got to get guys running at him. And I was really pleased with him the other night when he went 2 for 8, because all 8 shots were aggressive. He stepped into them. He forced the defense to deal with him. And then he took the same types of shots tonight and obviously hit. And the more he does that, and the more he establishes himself as a threat from behind the line, it's going to open his game up, and it's going to open him up for our offense as well. And so I was glad to see the shots fall tonight, but he's been working on this, since before tonight.